Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and we are here today to do block 2 of the Darlene Misho blocks, Quilt Along 2024. So I am not going to do my heart the same way she did. I thought about it, and I am not that good with sewing angles and stuff, and I decided to just not practice this time. And I wanted this to be simple and easy. I am challenging myself quite a bit with my wonky improv Christmas quilt this year. So I decided to go a little bit simple on this center block here, the special block. And so what I've decided to do is, oh, I threaded my needle wrong. But let me get both of these ends. There we go. So what I did is I cut out a square of this really cool red fabric, and I'm not a huge fan of red, but I do like red calico, you know, the little red florals. And I cut a denim heart that will fit on it. Now the finished block size is one thing, you know, with the borders, and then I trimmed it down, you know, to fit kind of thing. And then I'm going to do it a little bit askew. I don't like the idea of it being right side, you know, directly like trying to frame it up or anything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right down here at the bottom. And if you've never done slow stitch or anything like that before, this knot may be new to you. So what I've done is this is one strand of thread, but I put both ends through the end, or through the needle. And I did not pull my thread all the way up. See, I've got this loop back here. And now I'm going to take my stitch back down, or my needle back down to the back, and flip it over. And, oh, I came unthreaded. So we're going to have to set everything down and rethread my needle. That can be one of the problems with using a large eye needle, is you can end up having to thread your needle quite a bit because of things like that. But so then you stick your needle through your loop, and then you draw it taut, not tight, but taut, and you don't have to tie a knot that way. So I hope that was, yeah, that was frameable. Okay. Now, actually, because this is kind of wanting to move around on me a little bit, I'm going to reach over here and grab just this is just regular Elmer's white glue. See, I had drawn lines on the back of where I was going to slow stitch it, but because I was just going to slow stitch the denim knot through the background, and then I changed my mind, so those lines don't look any good. But just to tack that in place just a little bit up here at the top, because it's going to take me a second to get there. So, okay, my needle got kind of wrapped up in its own threads there. There we go. And then that's all I'm going to do, is I'm just going to do a simple running stitch, and I'm going to do it in what, I don't know, I kind of think of, yeah, see, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to get a different needle for this thread, because I cannot be rethreading it after every stitch. But, I don't know, like, if it has a specific name or not, but it's kind of a spiral, you know, it's where you don't just go around the edge and then you do a secondary round like inside of that. That's not what I'm talking about doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a very you know, a spiral that then comes to the center, or at least that's the goal. You know, I don't know how well it's going to work. I'm not an expert by any means, just kind of winging it. I've been stitching off and on my whole life, but you know, that does not make me an expert by any means. I make mistakes far too often to consider myself an expert at pretty much most crafting things. There's a few things, but so we're just sharing our crafty journey together. And so, yep, that is all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and then we will come back and sew the block. Okay, I'm back. I've got my heart of sewn, done the hand stitching that I'm going to do, and I added the borders here. Scooch that out of the way. Oh, my rotary cutter's not right here. Okay, so got my rotary cutter, and so now I'm just going to take my ruler and clean up that bottom edge. Now, because of the way that she designed this quilt, that cut, how strange. Didn't feel like my rotary cutter rolled at all. That was weird. But because of the way she designed this quilt, the lovely Darlene. Okay, my rotary cutter made me forget what I was saying. Oh yeah. This block did not need to be perfect because the border here, we're going to be able to trim that down to the precise size needed. There we go. That cut better. I don't know. Maybe I need a new blade. I don't know. I think I just need a new rotary cutter. I want one of the, I don't know, you see them on certain channels where they have the red ones and they're like a T handle. That's what I want. But anyways, so I'm just putting a 2-inch border on this real quick, and then I will trim it down to the proper size, and then we will start sewing our blocks together. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have my block trimmed, and as you can see, because of the way that Darlene suggested having those big, you know, 2-inch borders on here, even though we don't need the full 2 inches, it lets me, you know, wonkify that middle square. So now we're just going to get started sewing stuff together. I don't recall the order that she did hers in, so I am just going to start here and get these two little guys put together. And I don't think I'm going to be going to the iron. I think I'm just going to finger press along the way and let that be good enough. There we go. Okay, let me make sure I have my paper where I can see it. So that way I get my order correct. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and put this guy on here. Now I gotta be careful because I did make it wonky, so that's now a bias edge, and so it can stretch a little, so I have to be careful. So I have lots of things going on with my channel right now. I've started a new series called What Is It Wednesday, and it's where I'm just gonna go through various crafting terms, you know, sewing terms, bookmaking terms, painting terms, just really any and all crafting terms that I come across that I feel like sharing, because I feel like there is a big difference between being creative and having that creative knowledge. You know, just because you are a skilled artist, if you lack an education, it's hard to communicate those artistic ideas. And so I'm just trying to help bridge that gap a bit. Besides, I just love words. Words are just so much fun, right? Like, they're, especially in American English, because American English is just a hodgepodge, you know? Our language really is just, it is just a hodgepodge. It's a melting pot. We have, you know, words like taco and nacho that are straight up Mexican, you know, or Spanish. I'm not sure which the proper term is there. Sorry if I offended. Not claiming to be a linguist here. I'm just saying I love language, and I love playing with words and exploring words and language. And so that's what we're going to be doing on What Is It Wednesday. But with a crafty, you know, theme. But then I'm also going to, on What Is It Wednesdays, is pick a silly random word to explore and share with you, and then see how many of you can guess what it is. And then I'll share the meaning, the actual meaning, what it is, the following week on What Is It Wednesday. So that's going to be fun. You know, I realize that anybody can just, you know, like Google it or, you know, whatever, but still, I just think that it will be fun. It will be fun to explore words on like that. Okay, now I'm trying to get my seams to lay correctly. I've got two seams under here. One should go that way, one should come towards me so that way neither is under the white. And so I'm just kind of holding those down. Yay! That one did not flip. I could feel it. It went under there just fine. So that's awesome. So there we go. And like I said, I'm not going to be going to the iron in between, but I am going to finger press, and then I will press it when it's done. Fingers, fingers, fingers. There we go. Okay, so our block is coming together. Okay, so let's get these two put together. Let's see what else I have going. For Christmas, my husband got me a new little laptop because our desktop crashed, and we don't really, you know, don't really have the funds to go out and buy a whole new, brand new desktop right now. So we settled on a really high quality laptop that I was able to get on a really good sale. And so, I mean, so we were just exploring all the options during Christmas, and this was just the best option as the next step. But what I've been able to do since getting it is the exciting bit. I have been able to start creating digitals, and I have not released any yet, but I will be looking for design team members that will help me test my digitals before release, so that way I know that they're, you know, I'm being able to send them properly, they're getting through properly, you know, all that stuff, printing properly on the other end. And and I would greatly appreciate, you know, anybody who's interested. Send me an email at 143handmade@gmail.com, and just share with me, you know, like if you have a channel, share your channel link so I can go check out your channel. If you don't have a channel, that's okay. You don't need to have a channel. I'm not necessarily looking for people that are going to create commercials for me. Although, yet, I mean, I will be looking for that at some point. But right now, I'm mostly just looking for people that will, you know, help double check my files and let me know, you know, like, give me feedback before I do a launch. That way I can be sure that I have at least the file formatting correct, you know, right? That kind of stuff. So, yeah, just shoot me an email and let me know. It's not a paid position. I don't have the funds for that, but what you will get is free product when I have it available. It's not going to be a big job. I don't have anything available right this second to send out, but I would like to have a handful of emails, you know, ready to go when that first file is done. That way I can just send it out and say, here you go. Let me know what you think, kind of thing. So that's happening. I'm super excited about that. And let's see what else. I've got my wonky improv Christmas quilt that's going on my sewing Sundays. I did miss this last Sunday, but you know, that's okay. I'm allowed to miss on occasion. So there we go. Okay, now I gotta get down here to these little guys. You know, I've been watching Darlene for years, right? But she's been obsessed with these 2-inch squares forever. Well, I didn't really get it, you know, and then she shared the crumb quilting videos, and oh my goodness, I got sucked down the crumb quilting, you know, vortex, and now I can't stop playing with these little tiny squares. Well, let's see, which way do I want that? Do I want that up? Yeah, I want that up like that. And now I just absolutely love these two little 2-inch squares. It's absurd, but I do. You know, Darlene totally shared her crumb quilt addiction with the world. It's spreading, Darlene. It's spreading. But that's awesome, though, right? Because, see, I used to, when I first started quilting, I really struggled with what to do with the scraps, because I really struggled with those little pieces, you know, and not really knowing for sure what to do with them, what's too small, what should I be throwing away, what should I keep, you know. because those are all very personal questions. There really isn't anybody that can just decide for you, right? Like, because some quilters, they buy for a project, they make said project, and when they are done with that project, all of that fabric gets, you know, either used or donated or processed. They do not keep a fabric stash, right? Well, I have inherited a couple of hoarders worth of fabric and stuff, and so it's been interesting trying to deal with my particular blend of fabric stash, you know. And let's see, that one got all lumpy on me. Okay, let's see, we can see it better on this side, but see how I had a pretty good 1/4 inch seam over here, but like over here it's quite a bit thicker. So instead of just leaving that, because that's quite a significant difference, what I'm gonna do is I just go in from one side and just slip the sharp bit up under a couple of stitches, just like every 3 or 4 stitches, and you just pop it. And then once you do that, it should just kind of fall apart like so. So that's one way to use a seam ripper. Now when you're gonna, you know, rip a big long seam, there is another technique, and but that works great for little short seams like that. And we will do that over again, won't we? That's one of the nice things about most of the crafts that I do, is that you do get do-overs, you know? I don't know about you guys, but I miss being a little kid and being able to just call do-over, right? Just call do-over. Because, you know, not everything goes exactly as planned every minute, right? Okay, and then we'll put this on here and we are done. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate every single thing you guys, you know, every single like, every single comment, you know, obviously the subscribers, which reminds me, I did my 700 subscriber giveaway video and I thought I had uploaded it, and now I cannot find that video anywhere. So I don't know what in the world happened to it. It just kind of disappeared into the ether. So I will be recording another one of those videos next to do my 700 subscriber giveaway. It was supposed to come out a couple of weeks ago, or not a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago now. But let's see, which way is that supposed to go? That's supposed to go that way. So I'll be doing that. That will be released. That might already be released by the time this video gets edited and put up. So thank you so much. And I'm already at 750. I haven't even done the 700 subscriber giveaway yet, and I'm already at 750. Thank you guys so much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate all of that. You know, all of your guys', you know, support there. I genuinely appreciate every single minute we spend together. And here we go, last couple stitches, and done. And so again, just like I did last time, well, first I'm going to take a lint roller to that, but just like I did last time, oh, that looked bad for a second, didn't it? Because that was folded up. Whew, it scared me. But okay, so I will take it over to the iron and I will iron it, and then I will do the same kind of hand stitching that I did on the last one. Okay, so this is how I'm storing this project. So this is the sheet that I'm using as my middle. I could take the time to cut it up, but you know, yeah. And here is last month's block. Here we go. Get it all folded out. And our kitty cat block. And then I have, you know, just all the different fabrics that I've used so far and my backing fabric. So I just have this little tray. We drink a ridiculous amount of chocolate milk in this house. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest right there. And so we get those trays, you know, because it's a, I think it's a 6-pack. Yeah, it's a 6-pack. And that's cheaper than buying them individually. And so that's what we do. And so I have those trays, and I love them for fabric projects, because they're big enough, sturdy enough, but small enough and disposable all at the same time. It's great. But so this is the stitching I did on the first one, and I know I just said that I was going to do the same stitching, but actually I rethought that, and I think what I'm going to do is, because I've been slow stitching off and on my whole life, like I said, but it's been a long time since I've done, you know, a big project, and, well, maybe not a long time. I did hand quilt my son's quilt last year, but I don't know. I want to play with my stitches. I want to explore my stitches a little bit, and I haven't done a lot of hand quilting, that sort of thing, where you can see the back of the stitches. Most of the slow stitch and stuff that I've done has been where the back is hidden in some way. This, the back is exposed, you know, and I mean, I could quilt it, I could do the stitching on just the middle and the front and then attach the back, but I really liked the way that this looked, you know, and so I want to keep playing with that. And so this week, or not, well, I will probably do it this week, but this month's block, what I'm going to do instead of the straight stitches like that is I'm going to do cross stitches, which look like little X's, which goes with the, you know, the February love, Valentine's Day kind of a theme. And so I'm not exactly sure, you know, like how big, or if I'm going to do them wonky, or if I'm going to do them across, or if I'm going to do them in, you know, but that's my thoughts. That's my thought process on it so far. So thank you so much for joining me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single minute we spend together.